presumption of a government. And this legislation is historic, of course, for more reasons than one, because of the size of the state's gay and lesbian population. It more than doubles the number of people in the nation eligible for same-sex marriage. It is also the first time a marriage equality measure made it through a state legislature that is at least one house controlled by Republicans. And in addition to New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Connecticut, Iowa, Massachusetts, and Washington, D.C. allow same-sex marriage.
And DeMarco, our next guest, has made it his life's mission to win marriage equality on a national level. Sean Eldridge is political director of Freedom to Marry. That's a nonprofit organization founded 8 years ago here in New York, leading the movement for same-sex marriage equality. Good morning, Sean.
Good morning.
Welcome. I'm sure it's a very good morning for you.
It's a happy day.
I'm sure it is. You know, how far toward that goal did what happened in New York move you this morning?
It's a huge step forward. I mean, immediately thousands of loving and committed same-sex couples in New York are going to be able to share in the joy and the respect of marriage. They're going to get that critical safety net of rights and protections that they've been missing. So immediately lives will be better. But this bipartisan vote, supported by a majority of New Yorkers, is going to send a signal across the country that the freedom to marry the person that you love isn't a Democratic value. It isn't a Republican value. It's an American value. It's at the core of our country's promise of fairness and equal protection under the law. And look, you know, New York is a cultural and economic hub for the United States and frankly for the world. So the world is watching what happened here in New York, and they will watch as loving couples get married, as families are helped, and as no one is hurt in the process.
Still, almost half the states in this country have actually anti-gay constitutional amendments on the books. Where do you move now? Do you move to target the states that recognize civil unions and bring same-sex marriage to the forefront there, or do you attack those states where it is indeed a constitutional amendment against gay?
Well, we have to win more states, and this victory will certainly help that. We have to continue to grow the majority support that we have in the United States for marriage. And equally important, we have to strike down the federal layer of discrimination under the so-called Defense of Marriage Act, which denies tens of thousands of legally married same-sex couples the whole set of federal protections and benefits that come with marriage, from immigration to Social Security to the entire tax code. So today is a day to celebrate, but our work is not yet done.
I'm sure it is. The goal of your organization is to educate, primarily. Education. You had in this state one-on-one, face-to-face. In California, the same thing. Is that what you believe is swinging the pendulum toward? I mean, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I think there was maybe 20-25% support. Now we're looking at 50 to 75%, depending on who you ask. Marriage.
Absolutely. I mean, one-on-one conversations have made a huge difference. And frankly, I think New Yorkers and majority of Americans are looking at their gay neighbors, their gay colleagues, their family members. They're realizing they deserve the same respect, the same fairness, and the same treatment as everyone else. And for our lawmakers last night, which bravely took this historic step forward, they said clearly that they received thousands of postcards, emails, phone calls from supporters of the Freedom to Marry, from their constituents, saying that the time was now. So those phone calls, those conversations have brought us here to where we are today.
And I'm sure they'll continue to work. Thank you so much, Sean.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you coming in this morning, Sean Eldridge. And of course, you can stay with News 4 for complete coverage of the marriage equality vote and reaction to it. And remember, you can always turn to our website, NBCNewYork.com, at any time of day.